It does mean that Mark will be eventually returned to full fitness, and that's going to be good. Right then, race one. John Pepper, Ian Guttridge, Adam Bridge, Stuart Dent. The drive into the flowers was worth a lot. Here we go then. Mark Taylor in the middle, Gary Lobb on the outside, and Gary Lobb stays on the outside as they go into that first bend. John Pepper gains well, Gary Lobb was just started as we walk up to the far side, and Gary Lobb relegated to second spot at the moment. John Pepper in third as they come round towards us, and it's Tony Atkin with the advantage, but he's in trouble. Tony Atkin in trouble, and Gary Lobb inherits the lead once again. John Pepper in second, Mark Taylor in third, and in fourth place, Maurice Jones. Well, Tony Atkin with only 500 here today, and trouble straight away. I just wonder if we'll see him with the new track monoshock. It's here, but he's not out on it on this occasion. So it's Gary Lobb, the flying Cornishman, who really established an enormous lead already now with John Pepper in second place, Mark Taylor in third, and in fourth place Maurice Jones, and just behind him Jonathan Sims. So then, Gary Lobb. Look forward, beautiful sideways action as he comes off the bend and heads into the last lap. Looks over his shoulder, no problems at all for Gary Lobb at the moment. Still John Pepper in that second spot. Mark Taylor is on the third. Jonathan Sims coming under pressure a little bit now as he moves up through the field. So Jonathan Sims up to fourth. Maurice Jones now in fifth, but not giving up on that. John, that is Gary Lobb, who comes quite steadily round the bottom bend, heads for the checkered flag then. Gary Lobb it is who wins. John Pepper it is in second place. In third place is Mark Taylor. Fourth place Jonathan Sims. Fifth place Maurice Jones. Sixth place Steve Muldoon. Unlucky not to qualify as well. He had some minor problems after a couple of wins. And so here we go then, the rerun, and Simon Gittings making a good start. But it was Steve Bishop who had the right line, and Steve Bishop rolls away from the opposition. Simon Gittings it is, still in there, second spot for John Underwood. So that's Peter Lloyd coming through. In fact, Peter Lloyd in third place, trying to work his way through, but out in front is Steve Bishop. Simon Gittings in second, Peter Lloyd in third. Now up the far side now, it's Steve Bishop. Off the Potterjawa. John Jefferies in trouble. Well, that's sad to see John, the Smithers Speedway man, out straight away. But Steve Bishop really flying. And look at Peter Lloyd stalking Simon Gittings all the way. Economical riding with Peter Lloyd out there, but really seems to work at it, but closes up all the time on Simon Gittings just ahead of him. But out in front, the leader is still Steve Bishop. And in fact, that looks like the new track with a laid down Jawa motor in it. So maybe we are going to see it in action here this afternoon. And Steve Bishop already lapping some of the back markers as they go down the back straight. And Peter Lloyd has got through now to that second spot. Indeed, could be challenging for the leaders ahead for the flag. Bishop it is who wins. Peter Lloyd in second. Simon Gittings in third. In fourth place as they go past us, number 158, or was that 758 perhaps, Mark Chesham. Once again, and it's Andy Sell on that home-built monoshock special. He rides so well out in front. Adrian it is up in second place, and the rain coming down just to make life a little more pressure. We have a red flag down here for this fallen rider, and to allow him to move safely, then the race is going to be stopped. We're away. Adrian Stevens making another good start. Nigel Newman was on the inside, and it's Nigel Newman with the advantage. Mike Dowling is and Andy Shelley just comes through on that gang of competitors to take the lead once again. So it's Andy Sell then from Bristol out in front, leading the field as they come round once again. And Adrian Stevens now back into third place because Steve Holding it is up in the second. Back into grass after a little bit of layoff, only a year or so back. Really going well. Steve Holding still there in that second spot. In that third spot they went past us, we have James Cawtheray Nice distinctive leather commentator for James Cawtheray. The last lap flag goes out. It's going to go out for Andy Bell, who's now established a good lead over number 53, Steve Holding. Still James Cawtheray 7 behind him. The far side, and once again the other leader close to lapping the opposition to this race. The checkered flag goes out. Victory then for Andy Sell, number 50. Number 53, Steve Holding in second place, James Cawtheray in third, and in fourth place, Stuart Laird. 374, 45, 282, 2, and 761.
Derek Wiggins and Christian Wiggins, also from Oswestry. We've got a spill on the start, and number 67, Dave and Nigel Carter, the Preston pairing. Well, the spill on the start last week was number 2, Steve Bateman and Steve Harper, who went over, and the race stopped. They continue, they're well off the racing line, so there's no harm to anybody. And as we look to our left, we see Simon Beard and Lynn Collins with a substantial lead, with Jim Rowlands in trouble. Pete Rowlands goes up the inside. Jim in all sorts of trouble, number 886. Brother Peter goes through into third spot, but out on their own, Simon Beard and Collins. Well, probably don't know that already, after 2 laps, they've got half a lap lead, and if Jim Rowlands' machine had been going anything like, well, I'm sure they wouldn't have half a lap lead. 886 there in second place, Derek Wiggins, Pete Rowlands in third, then the Carters and Jim Rowlands and Mark Griffiths finished in the top 8 in the British Championship last year, really tailing off with some sort of motor problem. Well, they're into the last lap, and finding he doesn't have mechanical problems. It's going to be a win for Simon Beard and Lynn Collins. Good scrap for second place. But as we look to our left, it is Simon Beard and Lynn Collins who take the checkered flag. Lap. Sad to see somebody of Jim's calibre just tootling round with problems, but let's hope he gets it sorted out for later in the day. Right, good scrap for second place. Just coming through in the second place is going to be 886 Pete Rowlands. In third place, well, close for third, but I think Derek Wiggins just got there, and the Carters in fourth place.
Get away, who's going to make the best of the starts? Maurice Jones gaining well again. So Maurice Jones it is with the advantage as they go into the top end. Can he hang on in there? Cracking the pack a little bit, but David Wright as well. They've got a little bit of work to do, the pair of them. You expect to see them somewhere near the front of this one. Quite a struggle going on as out in front then, and they come towards us, and it's number 8 out in front. So Tony Starke showing us now that he's a good previously rider and takes over the lead and pulls away from the opposition. Problems down on the bottom corner there for Maurice Jones, who gated well, but faded. So there, Tony Starke it is, number 8 with the advantage, coming very wide here though, and it looks like John Underwood coming up at the inside. But it's not, in fact, it's Alun Bagshaw who's leading that challenge. So it's Alun Bagshaw in second spot, taking Tony Starke in lead. Then Wright is in third place. Wayne Broadhurst in fourth. Well, I thought this week this was going to be competitive, but I'm impressed with it already. Well, Tony Starke showing us just how good he is. And coming through in the second spot comes David Wright. Wayne Broadhurst follows him through or trying to, but alongside them they get number 37 Alun Bagshaw. Now dropped back to fourth place. So then, out in front is Tony Starke from David Wright, from Wayne Broadhurst, from Alun Bagshaw as they come round towards us for the last time. There's a challenge for a line, and it looked to me just as though it could well have been Tony Starke from David Wright, but we'll wait for the official verdict on that one, and Wayne Broadhurst in third place. As fast as she can, so let's be patient, right? Yeah, I'm not quite sure whether tutor race 8 on your programme. In first place, number 8, Tony Starke. In second place, well, I think we're going to have to hold that because race 9 gets away straight away. Number 34 it is, Steve Bishop, who heads into the first stand and makes a perfect start. Look at that, right up on it. So then, Steve Bishop, who really came to the fore last year. Once again, was one of those riders who rode so well up the Severn Valleys, first round of the Masters, and they're showing us now they can ride a 350 fully as well as that 500. Certainly, and really move towards the top of that sport. So Steve Bishop then coming round the outside, taking it wide and allowing number 711 Darren Pugh to close up on him. Neil Scopes is not bad. Darren Pugh goes through on the inside of Steve Bishop. Steve Bishop fights back and takes the advantage again. There's a good race going on out there. Neil Scopes it is in third place. Oh, Darren Pugh goes down. So it's Steve Bishop there, once again on his own, out in front. No problems with Darren Pugh, he's perfectly okay, just laid it down fairly gently on the far side there. So Steve Bishop there, reveling in these conditions and really going perfectly. So, round the bend, landing very wide, but such a big advantage. Victory then for number 34, Steve Bishop. Second place, number 15, and number 15, he said, looking down through his programme, of course, is Neil Scopes, who's got a long record of very good results with the 350s. In first place, number 34, Steve Bishop. In second place, number 15, Neil Scopes. In third place, number 77, John Underwood. In fourth place, number 85, Craig Haines. In fifth place, number 59, and number 59, of course, Martin Stott. In sixth place, number 187, and 187 is Chris Thomas. In seventh place, number 471, Dave Harding, and we're away, so we're now into race 10. Well, Dave Norris was making the best of the start. Let's after. Hang on in there, but quite a struggle going on for the lead across to the far side. They'll come round towards us, so let's look for Dave Norris, who gated so well. Now, can he hang on in there, or has it all slipped back? In fact, it hasn't slipped back far, because the man out in front is 710. And there's the door there. Back in action now with the 350. Like the numbers on this one, they're easier to read than on the 500 fellas. So then, Steve Dawes looks over his shoulder. Over his shoulder he sees Dave Norris. And a little way back we go to number 2, Nigel Newman. And then again, short gap as we move back to 581. So then, Steve Dawes seeming to have this under control, but he can't ease up too much because the opposition is only a few lengths back behind him as they go into the last lap, and Dave Norris is that opposition, and Dave Norris is not letting up. Nigel Newman's still out third place, looks across to the far side to follow the leader, Steve Dawes, he goes down the back straight. Seems to be slowing somewhat, I'm not quite sure whether that is he's deliberately easing off or whether in fact he's got a problem. Well, it looks like he's got a problem because through to take the race. Now it's Steve Dawes, in fact, who got through and held off Dave Norris. I was very concerned the way they all seemed to slow up on that last lap.
Number 23 from Chester with Kevin Williams, his Shrewsbury passenger, racing against number 101 Gary and Steve Wright, the brothers, the Guildford Yamaha. And we look to our right, it's Gary with about a 20-30 metre lead, and Gary Jackson on this FZR, which is certainly, shall we say, different to FZRs. Gary very, very special. You don't need me to tell you that it sounds very, very different to a normal FZR. But if you want to know the technical details, ask Gary and he'll say no comment. So it's Gary and Kevin with about a 30-40 metre lead over the Wright brothers. I would imagine Gary Jackson leads off the top end by some 40 metres over the Wright brothers. Certainly Gary not going as quick as he did in practice. No need to. Remember today's points. I think probably Tony has mentioned it earlier. It is point scoring. Finding a straight race. Points are not going forward. So it's important to get enough points just to get through to the final. So a win there in race 11 for number 23, Gary Jackson and Kevin Williams. In second place, number 101, Gary Wright and Stephen. Right, so 3 outfits on the line, and I have a feeling this one is going to be between Ivor Matthews and Rod Winterburn, with all respect to Pete Pithy, and as they go into the first turn, already getting very close to 32. But as they come off the Ashcroft, that's Ray Foreman. Now where... No, the Winterburns, I should say. The Winterburn brothers lead, getting a little bit sideways coming out of the bend, but still there, Ivor Matthews almost after he goes into the bottom turn, trying to go around the outside. Keep out on the mark, Pete Pithy there in third place, with Carl Pugh on the back. Carl Pugh, of course, solo rider. He looks shapes on the top turn, and Ivor Matthews again trying to go down the outside, presumably he's going to cut back in on the inside, but it's still the Winterburn boys leading. But Ivor gets the drive out of the bottom turn, tremendous drive there, but it's still the Winterburns leading, and again they get it a little bit concentrated as they go into the top corner. Ivor really has got it all to do as they race for the flag. The Winterburns get there. Ivor Matthews, a very dirty Ivor Matthews, and Peter Jones finish second, and Pete Pithy and Carl Pugh come in third place for the Sheepers. Nothing given all day between Roger Rees and Brian Dunn and the Foreman brothers. I know on that particular day the Foreman brothers won it, and that was the first time I ever saw them. That is doing that. Right, Craig Cheatham already out of it as we look to our right. Lemon Ray leads from in second place Paul Bickley and Kevin Riley. And in third place Phil Prescott and Dave Titley. Well, it looks as though Craig and Clive have got a chain problem. The rain absolutely bucketed down now. It's quiet here. But for the moment, yeah. As they come off the top then, with Paul Bickley and Kevin Riley there in second place. And in third place still Phil Prescott and Dave Titley. Well, hard luck on Craig, but there's a long way to go before we get to the final. He's score enough points in the other two races. Maybe going to the last lap, still the Foreman brothers leading. Still there in second place, Paul Bickley. Still in third place, Phil Prescott. I think the weather forecast was with showers. I think showers. Looks alright, it's a win for the Foreman brothers, with Paul Bickley and Kevin Riley coming home. They'll be in second place. And in third place, number 116, Phil Prescott. And what a line-up of talent as they get underway. It's Wadsworth leading as they go in the first corner. And the first thing you notice about Mark Wadsworth this year, of course, he's got a different coloured helmet. Mark Wadsworth pulling out about a 10-bike lead, and Mark, an absolute master in the wet. Remember it at Whitchurch in 1990. Jason Stott still there in second place. In third place, it is Steve Syrett, number 62, and behind Steve Syrett, number 33, Richard Smith, all the way up to there, consecutively, 1994, British Championship, behind Mark Wadsworth. Really not so getting the grip of the conditions at the moment. If we look to our left, it's Mark Wadsworth extending his lead over his old rival, Jason Stott. Third still. After the third, I should say, does come Richard Smith now, but Richard's reaching way off the pace. The race fucking down. Very, very similar conditions to that final Richard 5 years ago. Mark Wadsworth goes into the last lap with a substantial lead over second place man Jason Stott. In third place, Richard Smith. Then in fourth place, Steve Syrett. Steve Syrett is number 20. Well, Richard Smith trying to get on turn with Jason, and those two, remember, coming together at the National Championships last year. As we look to our left, Mark Wadsworth on the green grass, takes it. Close to second, who's it going to be? Very close as they go over the line. Jason looks to his left, Richard goes to the right, but I think Jason just got there with Richard Smith in third place. 1.43. Those numbers again, 344, 94, 33, 62, 23, 97, 28, and 64. Race 15, we've got Mark Rowe, Roy Leake, Lee Gaines, Steve Norman, Adrian Skrull, Rob Alman, Steve Mander, etc., etc. And as they go into the first turn, it is number 221, Rob Alman leading. But as we look to our left, the leader off the bend is number 300, Mark Rowe. So the Cornishman leads in second place there. It's now Graham Thomas. Way up through the pack. But the Cornish lad leads by some 15 minutes. Up the shooting, Graham Thomas, the man who won the national title running in 92 and 93. But it is Mark Rowe extending his lead as they go into the top turn. Long journey, and that's worthwhile at the moment. Already Mark Rowe nothing wider to go down the back straight. Graham Thomas still there in second place, and in third place beyond Graham Thomas is Rob Alman, number 221. So Mark Rowe into the last lap. Graham Thomas also into the last lap. In third place there. Rob Alman in fourth place, number 90 is Ken Morby. No doubt about the man who's going to win this one. Going to be number 300, Mark Rowe. Mark Rowe wins again. In second place, it is going to be number 314, Thomas. Steve Mander. 9th, number 6, Steve Norman. 10th, number 414, Nigel Hibbard. And 11th, number 12, Roy Leake. The time, 1 minute 39.23, or 1 minute 39.23. It's over to you, Tony, for race 16.
Thank you, Brian. And in this one, we've got Tommy Palmer seeking to repeat his earlier victory. He's on the inside of us. It's Simon Gittings with the advantage. They go into the top band, but a beautiful overtaking. Look at Tommy Palmer. It came from the beautiful move inside of Simon Gittings. There's Tommy Palmer out in front. Simon Gittings in that second spot. So Tommy Palmer then, the British 350 champion, really flying well here this afternoon. James Cawtheray, it is in third, Alun in fourth. Really already in this sort of form, but Tommy Palmer to that national championship last year, because he is really flying in these difficult conditions. So it's Tommy Palmer still out in front of Simon Gittings in second place. James Cawtheray in third, Alun Martin in fourth. Everybody just a little bit strung out now. The conditions obviously make things very difficult for close racing. And Brian mentioned earlier on, a lot of this is going to be about getting good results in the qualifying place, but preserving your machinery yourself so you can really go in the final. So then, Tommy Palmer on the far side. Closing on one of the back markers, around the inside, beautiful stylish Palmer. Up to the second place, Victor down for number 211, Tommy Palmer. And the second place man remains number 179, Simon Gittings. The third place man is James Cawtheray, number 16. I'll just have to check on this because we've got a little bit of a front as they make the gate from race 17. Number 34 it is Steve Bishop, and in this one we've got Steve Bishop and Andy Sell too. That somebody goes down, I think that is Andy Sell, goes down the far side there. You have yellow flags, the marshal's going, he's getting up, he's perfectly okay. And have we a red flag? The riders seem to be pulling up, so they
I might be a year out, but I'm pretty certain it was 1980, the year Jeremy Doncaster.
Here we go then, with race 17 get underway. Getting just a little bit of hectic on that front then, look across to the far side. It looks to me like we've got a really great start there from Andy Parker as he pulls away already from Steve Bishop. Andy Sell doesn't look as though he's made the rerun, or has he? No, he hasn't made the rerun. Saving the field. Patrician's out there very racing. All the competitors. So Andy Parker on the Luke Coffin special, going well here. And John Jefferies up into second place now. Steve Bishop in third. Young John Jefferies recovered from that spill earlier on and going to make up some qualifying points here so he can take a place in the 500 final. The leader then, Andy Parker, as they go into the last lap. Still John Jefferies in second. And still Steve Bishop in third, and in fourth place as they passed us, number 83, Phil Ashcroft. Well, it looks like we're not going to see Tony Atkin out because he's taking place in this one as Andy Parker crosses the line to win. John Jefferies in second place. And in third place, Steve Bishop. Steve Bishop. In fourth place, number 83, Phil Ashcroft. In fifth place, number 45, Shaun Bickley. In sixth place, number 16, David Rimmer. In seventh place, number 68, Jonathan Sims. And in eighth place, number 2, Nigel Newman. And the time, 1 minute 36.87, and race 18 gets away. And in front is that number we have trouble with. It's Steve Dorr, number 710. Incredibly like 110. But there we are. It's Steve Dorr. We've got used to the rock numbers now, Steve, and we'll try and pick it up each time. So then, Steve Dorr having quite a battle here, and tucked in behind him, Jason Prynne, but Jason had a little bit of a problem there. Still there. He's catching in second place. In fact, he's the only one at the moment within point of Steve Dorr. We're so wide for Steve Dorr there, but unfortunately nowhere close to the road mistake. Ready now, Jason Prynne is still there in that I know that all sorts and that was an awfully funny place to look to drift. So then, the leader comes round once again, heads into the last lap. And you can see that even if you're the leader and you are passing the opposition, you're still going to get killed in the So Steve Dorr it is there. An apprehensive approach to that bottom 10, but who wouldn't be apprehensive if these can lead right out in front? It's Steve Dorr then who wins. Jason Prynne in second place, and looked like Andy Rimmer closing right up on him in that third. Kenny Crane in seventh place, number 70. Number 70 is Garrett Ford, and in eighth place, the only other finisher, number 48. No, we're disagreeing here. Let me just correct that. I made a mistake there. In seventh place, we'll give you those last few places in a moment. Meanwhile then, Gary Lobb it was who made the best of the start. Gary Lobb is still out in front as they go down the back straight. So Gary Lobb out in front, and the second placeman as they passed us was number 4. So always unfamiliar in the wet weather in that second slot. Keeping the pressure on Gary Lobb. Well, Gary Lobb can be a very quick young rider. A little bit erratic on the best days. Colin Earl is not enjoying these conditions, sitting in fourth spot. Into the last lap to go. Gary Lobb still ahead of Peter Lloyd. Richard Empson it is in third place. Colin Earl not making up any ground from that fourth spot. So this time around, second flag around, victory for Gary Lobb. And we seem to have lost Peter Lloyd because Richard Empson comes through in second place, Peter Lloyd in third, fourth place, Colin Earl. Third place, number 4, Peter Lloyd. In fourth place, number 172, Colin Earl. In fifth place as race 20 gets underway, and we'll catch up on that in a moment or two. So then out in front as they passed Steve Holding, powering into that first bend, but you can see that. Still with the advantage as they go through the back straight, but a lot of pressure, and it looks as though they may have had to give away on that bottom game. Through the lead, it's coming awfully wide once again as they come up towards us, so wide in fact that he lost the advantage. So it was John Underwood who was battling with Steve Holding, and Steve Holding took the lead back, lost it again to John Underwood, and John Underwood is in front. Steve Holding now in second spot. Stuart Laird, who was in third, dropped it on the top there. So John Underwood then has now asserted himself in front, and coming through it's Trevor Eden who's trying to make that different start by Trevor, of course, had a win in his first outing here this afternoon. Mike Dowling goes by, not enjoying the conditions. So then, John Underwood looks now to make it off contention in second place now, pulling away as they go into the last lap. Still in second place is Trevor Eden, who's come through. Number 53, Steve Holding in third place. For these three, quite a long gap before we get back to number 8, Stott. So then, Trevor Eden closing right up on the leader, John Underwood. Are we going to see any sort of a change on this last lap? John Underwood goes very, very wide, but managed to hang on. John Underwood wins. Trevor Eden in that second place. In third place is Steve Holding. And we have that long wait now for 4th, 5th and 6th men as they head towards us through the pouring rain. 5th place is Tony Starke. 6th place is Starke Evans. And I think behind him it was 477 Rob Worthing. And across to Brian for the 500 sidecar.
Right, thank you, Tony. Well, we should have a full lineup for race 21, but looking to our left, we've only got 4 outfits on the line, and we've got a ragged start, and already... well, I'm looking for a red flag, but we don't have one, so the race continues. Jim Rowlandson and Mark Griffiths, number 887, go into the middle, and Jim really a very unhappy afternoon. Obvious problems in his first ride, and goes straight into the middle in his second ride. So, brother Pete, I think, is left on the line, and the race continues with Simon Beard and Lynn Collins well out in front of the Carters. David Carter and Nigel Carter on the top there. In second place. Well, Pete Rowlands, I think, is going to try and get the machine to fire, and if he, I think it's Pete Rowlands, is it? And it's Derek Wiggins, actually. I thought it was Pete looking to our left, but it was Derek Wiggins and Christian Wiggins, and it looks as though they may score some points, but the conditions absolutely atrocious as Simon Beard and Lynn Collins continue with a substantial lead over the Carters as they go down the back straight, already with 1 win under the belt this afternoon. Simon Beard and Lynn Collins look very much as though they're the crew to beat. Derek Wiggins and Christian Wiggins just going past us very sedately, and Simon Beard likewise as he goes into the last lap. Lynn Collins in the chair, and the Carters still there, second spot. Conditions very much like ice racing out there, and without the spikes exactly tell me, yeah. So, as we look to our left, it's going to be a win for number 4 for the second time this afternoon. Number 4 takes the checkered flag. Simon Beard and Lynn Collins. As we look to our left, we've got 5 outfits on the line, so maybe Andrew Humphreys and Dave Wildgoose have got them sorted and are with us. Certainly Mark Stubberfield's not with us, so 5 outfits in this one. As we look to our left, Gary Lloyd makes the gate. Gary Lloyd it is then, who goes to the front. In second spot as they go into the first turn, there was Jerry Squirrel, but the Lord Gary Lloyd leads. Top turn. Down the right straight, Gary Lloyd gets pursued by Jerry Squirrel. Gary Lloyd already with one win under his belt this afternoon, leads by some 3 or 4 lengths as they come off the turn. The veteran there, Jerry Squirrel in second place, Chris Salisbury in third place, in fourth place Andrew Humphreys, and in fifth place number 8, Steve Roman. With the money being thrown up, it's just about impossible to race close, but easy to pick out. Oh, we've got a spell on the top turn, and I think it is Pete and Phil Rowland's in trouble, but no harm done. They're in the middle, they're okay. And 69 goes in the middle, that's Randy Humphreys. And not just 3 outfits left. Nice clean leathers of Gary Lloyd and Dave Higgins then, out in front. And looking very impressive in the conditions. It won the first and another spill on the bottom turn, so we're left with just 2 now. Jerry Squirrel there in second place, but out in front Gary Lloyd. Chris Salisbury taking a tumble on the bottom turn. Well, the outfit's off the track, we've got the yellow flags out, but we're in for the last lap anyway. So as we look to our left, Jerry Squirrel getting a little bit closer, but no doubt about the winner, number 22, Gary Lloyd and Dave Higgins. So here we go then, and indeed it is, it's 710. Steve Daw. Yep, right. So then, Steve. On the 350 ABC jar from Sudbury. Becoming a very consistently successful performer. Number 15 it is, Neil Scopes in that second spot. Well, over the years we've seen Neil win an awful lot of races on the circuit. So Steve Daw it is then, and Steve Daw has pulled off because it's Neil Scopes now with the advantage that went past there. Well, Steve Daw slipped right back to third spot in that lap, and these Neil Scopes out in front. Graham Lowe's the second place man, and somebody in trouble on the bottom bend there. In the third place comes Nigel Newman. Steve Daw pushing off from the bend just by the start there. As the checker flag goes out, it's success for Neil Scopes. Graham Lowe in that second spot as he was on the previous lap, and it looks to me as though only 3 competitors still circulating in these extremely difficult conditions. Steve Daw is going to push it across the line, I think. Third place goes to Nigel Newman. Fourth place to John Underwood. And Steve Daw going for 5th place and qualifying points. Congratulations. And somebody's going to come up from the paddock and push the bike back for him after all this. Well done, Steve. Congratulations. Yeah, I don't blame you for the last bit.
So 350 action then, race 24. The penultimate race of this leg of the 350 competition. Kevin Watchnick, Wayne Broadhurst, Craig Holmes, Steve Holding, Rob Worthing, Ian Guttridge, Ricky Scarborough, and they are away. And it's Wayne Broadhurst who makes the best of the start. Craig Haines right there with him. So into the first band, Wayne Broadhurst with the advantage. Craig Haines in that second spot. And Wayne Broadhurst now really shows the tremendous form we expect from him. He really is a great 350 runner. He's pretty fair on the 500, but I always think of him as a terrific 350 competitor. One of those men who's going to win that 350 championship one day. John Underwood then in second spot. Gerald Shortie is in third. So Wayne Broadhurst then. Terrific riding here. These conditions, okay, the sun is shining, it's not raining, but that track is still very, very difficult indeed. And Wayne is riding firmly. Young John Underwood. Forget it's young John Underwood, not the other John Underwood. His father, who we used to enjoy watching on the 350s a few years ago. Martin Stott in that third spot, and in fact looking pretty secure there because he's riding very, very safely. Wayne Broadhurst then, one more lap to go. John Underwood still there in that second place. Back to Rob Worthing in second place, not John Underwood. The blood on the numbers, back to 477. Rob Worthing is going to hopefully get that second spot, not John Underwood at all, as we look at Wayne Broadhurst wins. It's Rob Worthing indeed who gets that very worthy second spot. And in third place, it's Craig Haines. 1 minute 46.51. So then, race 25 coming up, the last of the 350 races in this leg. Dave Norris skating well again. Chris Thomas going right there with him. But Dave Norris leading as they go around the bend. Looks like David Wright in second place. Looks like 351, I think. And well on the 350. So Dave Norris out in front. David Wright in second place. David Wright now out in front. So David Wright is coming towards us with the lead. Dave Norris back in the second place. Third place Alun Bagshaw. Fourth place number 115 Maurice Jones. David Wright looks as though he's experimenting with lines off that bottom bend. Interesting one, going wide, coming tight. And it's David Wright who can afford to experiment with lines because he's now got quite a handsome lead over 177. Dave Norris in second place. And almost half a lap over the third place man, Maurice, who now appears to be Maurice Jones. Well, here comes David Wright, so it's David Wright wins. Dave Norris still in that second spot, finishes in second place after leading for half of the race. Third place, 115, Maurice Jones.
Two outfits in this, number 61 Pete Pithy and Carl Pugh, and number 15 Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones. Rob Bradley is non-starter, John House is non-starter, and Jerry Squirrel unfortunately blew up in a big way in practice. So we have got just two outfits, leading as expected, number 15 Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones, and in second place number 61 Pete Pithy and Pugh. Well conditioned. Very, very slick out there. Speed totally different to what they were in practice. Sidecars in practice, particularly Ivor and Gary Jackson were going incredibly quick. And we were looking at the bottom turn in practice, and there was actually dust coming off it. And we thought we were going to be in for a just down on the bottom end, but not to be. Well, if the rain holds off now, it should improve a little bit, but still a lot of water on the track. We're into the last lap with Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones with a substantial lead over the second place crew, Pete Pippy and Pugh. Checkered flag at the ready, and a win for number 15, Ivor Matthews and Peter Jones. Cut out the third leg for each class, so there'll only be 2 legs for each class. So after the interval, we'll be compiling all the totals from 2 rides, and we'll be going straight through to the finals. So the clerk of the course, in view of the conditions, has decided to cut out the third leg this afternoon. Race number 27, Gary Jackson is the lead. In second place there, it is the Winterburns. In third place, Leonard Ray Foreman, and in fourth place, it's Paul Bickley and Kevin Riley. Well, I don't know what's going on down on the bottom turn, but going across. No harm done, just to our right, and it's Charlie and Kevin leading by some 30-40 metres now. The Winterburn still there in second place. Leonard Ray Foreman still in third. And in fourth place, Paul Bickley and Kevin Riley. Well, Gary leads. Let's get the final Ivor Matthews, that should be interesting. Gary and Kevin into the bottom turn. And drive out beautifully, so no harm done. Sure. 30-40 metre lead already over Phil Prescott and Dave Chitlin. So Gary and Steve on the Guildford Yamaha lead up the back straight. These 2 haven't moved to swap. Steve driving. Gary goes on the back. Gary's driving. On the back. Well under control. Nice tight line by Phil Prescott coming out of that top turn. Off the green grass. There's not much of that left, but he did manage to find a little bit. So the Wright brothers. Far over from that particular venue. They lead. They're going to the last lap. Phil Prescott then still there in second place with Dave Titley off the back. Checker flag is ready. Well, assure themselves of a place in the final. Still come from Essex, Richard Smith, Steve Syrett. Who's it going to be? Race 29. Could be anybody. This is going to be a cracker, I think. Away they go. Jason Stott gets it, but no, as they go past us, Mark Rowe it is. Who takes it up, but as they go in the first turn, Jason on the inside and Mark Rowe on the inside. So, they go into the bottom 10, Jason Stott on the inside, Mark Rowe on the outside, and very, very close. Mark Rowe takes it up a super bottom turn. Jason Stott now in second place, in third place Richard Smith, and in fourth place it's Steve Syrett. We've got a 4 on the bottom turn. as number 6, Steve Norman goes out. Yellow flags are out. Mark Rowe round the outside. Jason has to change his line to go round the outside. And riders go in all sides. Richard Smith still there in third. Graham Thomas still in fourth. And in fifth place. Well, Richard Smith, we look across and takes the tumble on the top turn to Mark Rowe. Now left with about a 40-metre lead as they go into the last lap. It's Mark Rowe leading, Richard Smith in second, Graham Thomas in third place, and of course Mark Rowe has got a clean visor. Well, I don't think it's all over yet because Mark Rowe going into the bottom turn, catching up on tail enders, and Richard Smith throws it in hard, and Richard's going to make a big effort on the bottom turn. I think it's going to be a win for Mark Rowe, or is it? Tremendous effort by Richard Smith, but Mark Rowe gets there. Richard Smith second, Graham Thomas third, and in fourth place it is going to be, well, 93, Matthew Child, and in eighth place 94, and that was Jason Stott. The time 1 minute 14. We're up to a couple of months start as we know about the car works and Matthew Clark. The man at the time British champion, number 344, Mark Wadsworth. So, Mark Wadsworth leading for the second time this afternoon. In second place there, number 221, Rob Almond. In third place, number 90 is Ben Morby, and behind Ben Morby is Richard Lively. Mark Wadsworth pulling a wheelie down the back straight to play in Discovery. Very, very important. Mark Wadsworth leads 250, race 30. Wadsworth leads then from in second place, number 221, Rob Almond. In third place, number 90, Ben Morby. In fourth place, 67, Dave Knowles. And behind Dave Knowles is number 23, Richard Lively. Wadsworth it is. Look behind him to see where the opposition is. Rob Almond. And some distance, Mark. Nice and steady around the pace on the bottom turn. Goes into the last lap. At about a 40-metre lead over 221, Rob Almond. Still there in third place, Ben Morby. Right as we look across, we see coming into the last turn, going slowest I think I've ever seen him go, number 344, Mark Wadsworth. He wins it. From in second place, number 221, Rob Almond, were abandoned. Right, it's away we go. And straight to the front goes Pete Pippy and Carl Pugh. Phil Prescott and Dave Titley there in second place. Going to the top corner. It's certainly dried out a lot. In fact, it's actually just coming up the back. So conditions are just about perfect for the finals. And absolutely nothing in it on the bottom turn. Pippy on the outside and Prescott goes to front, so up the back straight. Phil Prescott and Dave Titley, remember they're racing for the last place in the Sidecar A final. Second place man will go into the B final. And it's Prescott leading into the bottom turn. Pete Pippy there in second place. And Phil Prescott indeed pulling away a little bit as they go up the back straight, gets it a little bit sideways, but no harm done. And a little bit sideways coming out, but no problems. So, checkered flag at the ready. We don't have any runoffs incidentally in the solo classes. There was just this one runoff today. Last bet. So we're going to get Phil Prescott and Dave Titley into the A final. And Pete Pippy and Carl Pugh will go into the B final. 500 solo final. B final, that is, of course. But to get to a final at all today has been quite an achievement in these very, very difficult conditions.
There will be the usual presentation of awards for the A finals, the top three in each of the A finals. The gate goes up, a nice clean start. We're looking at Jason Prynne making a good start in the middle, but round the outside goes Phil Ashcroft, and Phil Ashcroft battling away, but he's James Cawtheray with the advantage at the moment. Phil Ashcroft was in second, goes a little wide and is in trouble, so he's dropped back, and we've got a fallen rider on the bottom bend. James Cawtheray it is then, ahead of Mark Chessel in second place. Mark Chessel going very wide and then that's not there. Right above the lead and getting a place to the front of the back wheel of James Cawtheray. So it's James Cawtheray goes down, I'll leave the on the bottom bend, so Mark Chessel then inherits the lead. So it's Mark Chessel who's out in front. Jason Prynne in second place. In third place, number 8, Stott. To enable that fallen rider to be attended to. So here we go then, the rerun. And on the inside as they went past us, it was Mark Chessel again looking to pull away from the competitor, Tony Starke, down on his feet, rushing back to the bike. He can get that going, he can see some prize money here, so 83 it is coming towards us, and Mark Chessel on the outside, Phil Ashcroft on the inside, these two having a great battle, and looking across the far side there, Mark Chessel is all the way from Phil Ashcroft in that second spot, and Mark Chessel from Swindon going well here, and defying these treacherous conditions on the RTS. Ashcroft still in second spot. Battle on for third with Andy Rimmer and John Tree really hard at it. Always remember John Tree good in tricky conditions. It looks like he's got problems at the moment. There's Andy Rimmer then in third place. And yes, I think we're having quite a bit of machinery problems here this afternoon, and the water is probably not helping. So then, Mark Chessel looking anxiously over his shoulder, make sure he should keep going. Yes, keep going that way. Phil Ashcroft still in second place, Andy Rimmer in third. Jason Prynne, when he first goes around like that, top up his fuel, then he's still going. And a little pulled out, they only had a lap to go. Victory then for Mark Chessel. Second place to Phil Ashcroft. Third place to Andy Rimmer, and fourth place to Jason Prynne.
Performed this afternoon, the lad from Penzance, riding number 300. He's been out twice and he's had 2 wins. We thought the challenge to the Shropshire boys was going to come from Richard Smith. Well, Richard struggled a little bit with the conditions earlier on, but now it's dried out. I'd expect Richard to be up there with the leaders. So, who's it going to be? Mark Rowe, maybe? Richard Smith? Or is it going to be the Shropshire crowd of Graham Thomas and Mark Wadsworth? We did find earlier on, I wasn't sure whether this mic was working absolutely spot on or not. I know I've got a cold today, so I might not be as clear as usual. Can I have a go with your mic, Tony? Let's just swap them round and see how it goes. Right, we'll try with that one. I don't know whether that's any clearer, but this is the mic that Tony's been using. So 250 final, we've got Mark Rowe, we've got Richard Smith, Graham Thomas, Jason Stott, Richard Lively, etc., and Wadsworth. A tremendous start from Mark Wadsworth. And as they go in the first turn, Wadsworth leads in the bunch indeed now. Mark Rowe. As they come off the bend, Rowe is challenging position to Mark Wadsworth, but it's Waddy who leads. Into the paddock turn for the first time, and here comes Mark Rowe. And Mark Rowe in absolutely superb form this afternoon. Wadsworth leads, Rowe second. And behind them was Richard Smith. The leader now as they go down the back straight. New leader, and it's Mark Rowe, but here comes Wadsworth on the inside. So, it's Cornwall against Shropshire. Mark Rowe in absolutely super form. On the outside, but Waddy, 11 times British champion, he doesn't get beaten easily. In third place. What a tremendous start. What a tremendous foul. Rowe leads, Wadsworth leads. this guy today. So, Mark Rowe going wide, Mark Wadsworth on the inside. They go into the last lap and it's Rowe from Wadsworth. In third place it's Adrian Squirrel, number 321, and behind him is 94 Jason Stott. And behind Jason Stott is Rob Almond. But they're into the last turn, the two leaders. Who's going to be? Gold leaders, Wadsworth on the inside, and they come off the turn. It's Mark Rowe wins. Mark Wadsworth finishes second. In third place it's going to be number 321, Adrian Squirrel. In fourth place, number 94 is Jason Stott, and behind Jason Stott, number 314, Graham Thomas. Then number 221, Rob Almond. Then number 90, Ben Morby, and behind Ben Morby was 97, James Child. Number 34, Jerry Squirrel and Derek Page. 67, David Nigel Carter. 888, Derek Wiggins and Christian Wiggins. And 886, Peter Rowlands and Phil Rowlands. Who's it going to be? If I was a betting man, I'd have an each-way bet on Simon Beard and Gary Lloyd, I think. Gary had 2 super rides in his heat, so did Simon. Never discount Jerry Squirrel. The collection for Tom was a very good £451.32. Thank you very much. Away we go, the big 2 leads. Simon Beard on the inside. And on the outside was Gary Lloyd with a big go out of the first turn. There's absolutely nothing in it. Beard on the inside and Gary Lloyd on the outside as they go into the bottom turn. Who's it going to be as they come out of the turn? 4 Simon Beard and Lynn Collins lead. From in second place, number 22, Gary Lloyd and Dave Higgins. Behind them, not beaten yet, is Jerry Squirrel and Jerry Page, number 34. Then the Carters. Behind the Carters is Derek Wiggins, and bringing up the rear at the moment is Peter Rowlands and Phil Rowlands. But as we look across, we see Simon Beard and Lynn Collins extending their lead as they come off the bottom turn. A little bit bumpy on that turn now, and Jerry Squirrel trying to get on terms with Gary Lloyd and Dave Higgins. And Jerry Squirrel, somewhat of a veteran in Sidecar racing now, putting up a great battle here, but as they go down the back straight, Gary Lloyd pulls away a little bit. Meanwhile, the leaders, Simon Beard and Lynn Collins, come round the bottom turn to start their last lap, and Simon Beard looks to have everything under control. Gary Lloyd, and following Gary Lloyd, Jerry Squirrel. Well, it's racing, he's having a good start. Bandit for 4th, 5th and 6th, Carter's in 4th place. Derek Wiggins in 5th, Peter Rowlands in 6th, but as we look to our left, the winner of the 500 sidecar final is going to be Simon Beard and Lynn Collins. In 2nd place, number 22, Gary Lloyd and Dave Higgins. In 3rd place, number 34, Jerry Squirrel and Derek Page. DB final. Maurice Jones making a good start in the middle, but Tony Starke going with him, and it's Tony Starke who leads into the top end. Maurice Jones with Steve Bishop side by side as they go around that top end. It's Steve Bishop then who moves into 2nd place. Tony Starke out in front. Steve Bishop in 2nd place. So then Tony Starke from Hereford, who's been putting in some good performances towards the end of last year and the beginning of this. Steve Bishop, very, very accomplished rider in that 2nd spot. Still Maurice Jones in the 3rd place. And Steve Bishop trying to close up on the leader just ahead of him. He's going to be able to make it around. Let's hope we can wait self-fascination. Sponsored, of course, by Mick Potter and Steve Bishop, and appreciates the help he gets from him. Tony Starke then out in front. Steve Bishop in that 2nd place. In 3rd place, still Maurice Jones. In 4th place, then, as they go past us, number 39 was Rob Sandwell. Darren across from the far side, just as Tony Starke seemed to be getting away from the opposition. Had to leg it a little bit off the exit from that bend, and lost a little bit of drive, lost a little bit of speed, and Steve Bishop closed up on him, but he seems to have got it under control now, so it's Tony Starke then. Ahead of Steve Bishop in 2nd place, still Maurice Jones in 3rd, still in 4th place, number 39, Rob Sandwell. So nothing changed on that then, and here's a challenge. Look at Steve Bishop. What's really Steve Bishop for this stage? Steve Bishop challenges, rockets through, has to take a very wide line. And it's Tony Starke then trying to come up here. Steve Bishop up the inside, and Steve Bishop's going to get there. Tony Starke in 2nd place. Bishop with a fantastic last bend.
Still, Maurice Jones in third, and in fourth place, a change on the last lap. Sixth place, number 581, Richard Ashworth. Seventh place, number 85, Haines, and we're away in eighth place, number 174, and they're away with the 350 final proper. Well, this will be quite a race, and Wayne Broadhurst back in the pack. It's Neil Scopes who's made that challenge, and it looks as though Neil Scopes has got the advantage at the moment. So then Neil Scopes and Steve Dole battling away here. This is going to be quite a race. Dave Lloyd locked into third place on the far side. Second place. Back a little bit. The leader, Neil Scopes, is really flying. Neil's been very successful over the years with his 350, and he really is an ace. Still Steve going second, Dave Wright in third, Wayne Broadhurst in fourth, and in fifth place they passed us John Underwood. This is a class 350 field. We look from the far side and almost effortless. Dave Wright closes up from that third spot, goes to second place. Steve Dole drops back to third. Shows Neil Scopes out in front. David Wright in second place. Steve Dole now in third. In fourth place is Wayne Broadhurst, rapidly making up ground as he moves towards the end of the race. The top on the far side. The leader, Neil Scopes, really has got this under control now. 37 at 59, and the time 1 minute 36.27. And looks like we've got the B Sidecar final underway already. Over to Brian.
Yeah, Tony, and it's good to see Craig out there after his early mechanical problems, and Craig Cheatham and Clive Reynolds lead as they go past us for the first time. Pete Pithy there and Carl Pugh in second place, and Paul Bickley and Kevin Riley in third place. So Craig Cheatham and Clive Reynolds would, well, they'd have undoubtedly been in the A final if they hadn't have had a mechanical problem earlier on, but they lead in the B final by some distance, with Pete Pithy still there in second place and Paul Bickley still in third, but Paul making up some ground on Pete Pithy as they go round up on the turn. But as we look to our right, Craig comes off the bend to start the last lap with a good battle for second place between Paul Bickley and Kevin Riley, and Pete Pithy and Carl Pugh. And Paul Bickley trying to go round the outside as they go into the bottom turn, but Pete Pithy on his none of it. As we look to our right, checkered flag out, and a win in the Sidecar B final for Craig Cheatham and Clive Reynolds. Who's going to be second though? It's going to be close. They come off the bend and absolutely side by side, and just by a whisker, Pete Pithy and Carl Pugh, number 61, get second place, and number 18, Paul Bickley and Kevin Riley get third solos.
Thank you, Brian. Yes, and looking at this, we've got Tommy Palmer, Trevor Eden, Steve Bishop, John Underwood. They're away before I can get through them all. And in the middle, Tommy Palmer, Andy Parker right on his elbow, Simon Gittings in there in third slot, and Palmer on the outside, Andy Parker in advantage at the moment. Tommy Palmer right there with him. Simon Gittings with the leg down, traditional leg trailing style as he comes around that bend in third place. But the battle's on with Tommy Palmer just finding his way ahead. Still Andy Parker in second. Still Simon Gittings in third, or is he? Simon Gittings drops back to fourth because Gary Lobb right into his bend. And Gary Lobb closes right up on Andy Parker. Andy Parker, Gary Lobb, Simon Gittings, second, third and fourth. The leader, it's Tommy Palmer from Maidstone, and in front, really flying along. So Tommy Palmer's had a good afternoon here. Gary Lobb gets through to second. So Gary Lobb gets through to second and pulls away from the battle for third. And so it's left to Simon Gittings and Andy Parker to battle for that third spot. Simon Gittings has at the moment. Andy Parker back in fourth spot. But out in front then is Tommy Palmer having all sorts of a funny line around that bend. But never mind, he's ahead of Gary Lobb as they go into the last lap. So Simon Gittings in third, Andy Parker in fourth. In fifth place as they pass us, 1:53, Steve Holding. So then, off the far side, the leader, he'll stand his speed on the second lap, hold it throughout, one more bend to make it to the finish line. Victory then for Tommy Palmer in the Shortie, 1995. Second place goes to Gary Lobb, third place goes to Simon Gittings. Fourth Fourth place goes to Andy Parker. Fifth place to Steve Holding. Sixth place to Steve Dorr. And right alongside him, Steve Bishop. With Brian on my right. Always a pleasure to work with him, of course. I'll pass you across to Brian to take us through the last part of the afternoon, the 1000cc sidecar final.
Right, thank you, Tony. We have got a presentation to do, as you rightly say. I'm particularly pleased to have Tony come along today, because I was going to do the meeting on my own, and I've had a cold or flu or something the last couple of weeks, and it hasn't quite cleared up, so it was really good to have Tony along. Right, we get into the 1000 sidecar final. Unbelievably close, but Gary Jackson it is. Or is it? The Winterburns nearly to the advantage of Gary going wide, but it's Gary Jackson leading. The Winterburns in second, Ivan Matthews, and and Gary Jackson is out. Dear me. And that's a disaster for Gary Jackson and Kevin Williams, because they looked virtually unbeatable the last 2 weeks. So, the Wrights are out as well, so Winterburns lead. And in hot pursuit, Ivan Matthews and Peter Jones. In third place, it's the Foreman brothers, Len and Ray Foreman. And in fourth place, Phil Prescott and Dave Tiddley. Well, last year in 1994, the Winterburns won the Shortie meeting. Doesn't seem long ago, because it was at the end of the season, but they won it. And they look as though they're going to win it for the second year running. The Winterburns lead. From Ivan Matthews in second place, the Foreman's in third place. And at the back with big problems, Phil Prescott and Dave Tiddley, but I'm sure they'll carry on very, very slowly. Oh, that is a pity. It's packed them all together. And the checkered flag goes out. The Winterburns winning. In second place there, Ivan Matthews and Peter Jones. In third place, Len and Ray Foreman. And just 3 finishers.
And today the 250s, as usual, were great. Right, the guy who finished third, I was told he had a problem in practice, but go on. Still finished third. Super ride for Adrian Squirrel. Right, the bloke who finished second today, I've heard his name mentioned somewhere before. He's been around since 1976. Won the British title 11 times. What else can you say? Mark Wadsworth. Come on. Right, he takes a lot of stick off me when he doesn't win. But the guy who won today, he had 2 smashing rides in his heat. He really deserved the final. He's come a long way. It's a long way from Penzance up here, believe me. Mark Rowe. Mark, quick word, it's got to be first time in the final you've beaten Mark at a guess?
Yeah, funnily enough everything went right today for a change, and that's the way it goes, I suppose. More of the same.
Right, more of the same. Right, we've got Richard Smith down in Essex, we've got you down in Cornwall. Challenge to the Midland lads at last. Great. Well done, Mark. Seriously, super day. Well done. Tony, I'm still shouting. 500 sidecar final is the next on my list. Always like the 500 sidecars as well. Third today, a man who, like John and myself and Tony, been in Grasstrack a long, long time. Super guy, Jerry Squirrel and Derek Page. Well done, Jerry.
Jerry? Jerry?
Right. He put a piston in the 250. I was told there was a problem with Adrian's bike in practice, and well, he put the piston in the right way around. Must have done. Finished third. Well done. Right, second in the 500 sidecar. Man who used to race solos, keep it in the Midlands. Gary Lloyd and Dave Higgins.
I just have to let everybody into a little secret here. Just before this final, I went to ask something about what it would mean to Gary if he won, whether it was his best win or anything. He's threatened me since. Don't ever do that again, he says. Putting the finger on him. Congratulations. Okay.
I think of everybody here today, Gary was the easiest one to pick out. Everybody got covered in mud. And Tony and myself were prodding each other, you know, but Gary stood out in the white leathers, and great stuff. Right, the 500 sidecar final. Well, the guy we thought was going to win it did win it with his lady passengers, Simon Beard, Lynn Collins. Well done. Well done. Simon Beard and Lynn Collins. We move on to 350 solos. Tony.
Why not? Thank you, Brian. In third place then, a guy I always think of as a real 350 expert, and doesn't come from too far away from here, Wayne Broadhurst. There he comes.
Tony, before this bloke goes, come here. He was last off the line, third in the final. Right, my daughter thinks he deserves something. Have a mincely shirt.
You see, special awards. Second place then in a very competitive 350 field, David Wright.
Good ride, Dave. Good ride.
Yeah, it looks a bit like that actually from where we were watching. The winner then of a Super 350 class today, Neil Scopes. Neil, just a quick word. You're another man who seems to go incredibly quick on the 350.
Yeah, especially in the big meetings. Been struggling a lot on the cup meetings. Everything's sort of come together today.
Well, it's good to see you over here. Let's hope you can make it over this way more often. Right, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, Neil Scopes.
Right, we're back with me again, Tony. 1,000 sidecars. Yeah. Well, 1,000 sidecars, eventful final to say the least, like the Shortie meeting last year. Third today, crew that have been around for about 17 years, maybe 18. Still going well, Len and Ray Foreman. We're going to find out now what I was guessing earlier. Which year did you win the most promising sidecar crew award? 1980, I said. How did you know that?
You didn't hear his gap. He said 1970.
I said 1970 initially. I'm sure it was 1980. Right. I know you started 77. You beat Roger Rees in 78. Yeah. Right. I'll concede. I've got it wrong. Right. Bloke who finished second, you usually race against his dad. Right, seriously, second today, one of the great guys who's come through from the ranks of solos into sidecar racing, former Masters champions, Simon Matthews and Peter Jones. Well done, Arvid. Well done, Pete. It is Roger's bike, it's not an ex-Roger's bike, he's just said. Right. Well, last year the Shortie 1,000 sidecar event was won by an Underwood crew. They've come back, won it again, prove it was no fluke. Super ride, Rod and Chris Winterburn. Rod. Rod, I know last year we stood in the field up at Bridgenorth, end of season, September, October, I know you were over the moon to win the Shortie trophy. Win it 2 years running, what's it like?
I don't know, I'm still in shock. I don't know, it's got my nose out front, it was the same as last year. I thought, well, there's no red flags out, so I best keep going. That's what I did.
Right, it's nice to see a northern crew winning a major trophy because they all tend to go down the south these days, so well done lads. Rod and Chris Winterburn.
Well done, Rod.
Tony, before we do the 500 solos, do you want to ask Mr. Milburn that?
Has Gary Jackson come over?
Yeah, go
The Millwood Family Awards.
Yes, there's Gary Jackson and Peter Lloyd.
Gary Jackson and Peter Lloyd.
I think Peter's gone home.
Has he?
Oh, they're coming.
Does anybody
They're coming. Hello, Gary. Gary, what was the problem, by the way?
Twist grip came off in my hand.
Oh, well, you haven't wrecked that quick motor.
Right then, thank you.
Presenting all these extra awards. Thank you very much indeed. Well, they said last year when it slowed him down when he got married, doesn't seem to have had too much effect on him, does it? Not yet, he said. In second place, all the way up from Cornwall again, but a successful day for Gary Lobb. That's good to see Gary getting a good result today. The winner then of the 500 solo class and Super Days had riding in these conditions, Tommy Palmer. Tom, just a quickie. Must have been extremely difficult racing out there.
Yeah, it was not difficult. I think it was difficult, but very tiring as well. My arms and that like killing me in the final.
Still, you did the right thing. You got to the front and stayed there.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I made a good gate, make it a lot easier. Harder to be behind with all the stones and mud, so it was okay.
Well, congratulations on the Super Days racing, and we wish you many more successes during the season. Congratulations, Tommy Palmer, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we have another trophy, the Shortie trophy. This is the special one with the award of cash from the Cotswold Youth Grasstrack Club, who want to show their appreciation of the efforts that Gerald Short puts in to look after youth riders, helping them with their meetings, helping with training and what have you. And the winner of the Shortie trophy for 1995 is Andy Parker. Andy, don't go away, you need that bit as well. That's the money. And our thanks to Cotswold Youth, and congratulations, Andy. Best wishes for the future. Well, Brian, I think I'll leave it to you now, really, to wrap up what's been an enjoyable day. You see, the weather didn't help us, but if you'd like to just say goodbye to the folks, and thanks for having me.
Right, thank you, Tony. Really was good to have you along today, and always enjoyed doing a double act with yourself. And pity about the rain, but there was no control over that. And it's been an enjoyable day's racing, and I think a fitting tribute to Tom Ledbetter. Really has. So thank you all very much, and we'll see you when we see you. Thank you.